Welcome back to our program. Again, we're here in McClellanville, and I'm talking with Mary Duke about a streetscape project. And we want you to hear all about that. Plus, we want you to know that we're doing projects that are large and small in and outside of the county proper. In other words, we're all over Charleston County doing these transportation sales tax programs. It's nice having you on our program today. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Tell me, what is a streetscape in your way of thinking, and what do you think it's going to do to assist Pinckney Street and the businesses along there?
Well, I think a streetscape is an improvement to the appearance of a street and how it works better for transportation and parking, and for the businesses and residents located along the street. That's what we hope is going to be happening
Now,
here.
what's been the problem? I understand that the businesses, wonderful restaurants, by the way, the businesses out there have had some difficulty, and so have the residents, in that cars would be parking in such a way that maybe the residents couldn't get out, or the street was overused or crowded.
Right.
So is that something you're trying to correct?
We are. Our little village commercial area on Pinckney Street has a mix of residential and commercial uses. So some of the folks with residents were finding their driveways blocked by cars when the restaurants were very busy, that sort of situation. So this will provide a little extra off-street parking, which we haven't had before, to hopefully relieve the parking problem and make things work better for everybody.
Now, you're involved with the transportation sales tax program, or this project is. And does that help a little bit?
It does. It really does. The town wouldn't have had the funding to do the project on our own, so it's been really great. We're excited.
Now, there's a lot going on in this area. I'm looking at gravel roads, or gravel, parking places, I guess I should say. And then there is an area where the cars can get out. So it's not that cars are going to be bumper to bumper and locked in here in any way. They're going to be able to get out. Was that all planned in there?
Yep, the county really, RoadWise department came up with a good plan for us. And we already own this property, the town did, which was very helpful. We didn't have to purchase more property. And so they figured out a way to fit about 9 parking spaces in here, I think, which will really help. We didn't want a Kmart parking lot, excuse me, Kmart. But we wanted something fairly small and compatible with the area that would sort of fit into the neighborhood.
I don't know about McClellanville residents, but certainly in the rest of Charleston County and other small towns, people are very, very concerned about their trees.
Yes.
And
yes,
I noticed that these trees have been blocked off so that they're not touched. Was that something that was especially mentioned when this came up?
It was, yeah. We really asked them to save as many trees as possible on the lot, and I think they've done a good job of doing that and working around as many trees as they could.
Was there citizens' involvement in this project? In other words, did you hear from residents on ideas as to how this should happen, how you would take care of off-street parking? And so tell me about some of the ideas that you heard about.
We really did have a lot of public meetings and citizen involvement, and frankly, it was a nearby resident who reminded us of this area that the town already owned that could be used for something like that. So that was very helpful. This whole area was very overgrown for years, so you just didn't even picture it being used, but it was perfect for a site like this.
And it's also sort of interesting as to what this area backs up to. You have art, a former, fire station?
Right, exactly.
Are you going to be using that fire station, by the way, anytime in the future?
That is being leased by the Arts Council, which is adjacent to it, and they use it for extra classroom space and exhibit space over there.
And then there's going to be a bridge. And how's the bridge going to be used besides walking across it?
Right,
But
right.
what is it leading you to?
This is our local branch of the Charleston County Library, and and the librarian actually requested the bridge. She said children have been taking shortcuts for years through the ditch to come to the library and would come in all muddy. So she said if she could have a bridge so they could go across and stay out of that mud, it would be very helpful.
One thing I do know about McClellanville, besides good food and shrimping and crabbing and all of those things, is that the residents here like to get together periodically. Could this be a spot for that as well?
Perhaps so, yeah. I know the librarian has talked already about trying to get a little picnic table to go behind the library there in front of the bridge. So I think it could be a gathering spot.
One of the things that we do in the PR area with the transportation sales tax program, otherwise known as RoadWise, is to go around the community and talk with people like you and find out just how important that tax is and what it's doing in our community. And you said earlier that if it wasn't for the transportation sales tax program, that you may not have been able to do this.
Right.
And then what would have happened?
We just would have continued on with our parking, our own street parking on Pinckney Street, you know, and maybe, I know one thing we tried when we had so many people along the street was some parking tickets, and that didn't work well. The business owners did not appreciate the town issuing tickets to folks, their customers, you know. But, so we heard some pushback about that.
I bet you did.
So I think this will be better.
Now, will the public get to participate in maybe a grand opening or something like that later on?
Perhaps so.
Are you
We're
planning
certainly
something like that?
we haven't got a plan yet, but we may very well. Yeah, we're going to be excited when we have the finished product ready.
What's the next project that you might be able to do here using the transportation sales tax, if any?
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to think. We have projects in the works. We've requested a drainage plan for some of our streets. Drainage around here, as you can imagine, is always a problem. We're so low lying. So we'll see if that gets approved. And
Boy, you're moving on up.
yeah, we're trying.
Enjoyed talking with you so much, Mary.
It's so nice to
And
talk
we
to
wish you well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Great project.
Thank
I
you.
know that everybody's looking forward to its completion and being able to use it, and it's a good idea.
We
And it's for
really are.
McClellanville, and it's for the business community, and it's for the residents, and it sounds good to me, a good way to use the transportation sales tax. We'll be back in just a moment with the young gentleman you've seen before, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the construction and the design of this project. We'll be back in a moment.